All right, hey Aries. So I'm doing a self-love read. It's self-love. It's to help you remove or identify conscious and subconscious blockages. And this is going to help you with self-love, romantic love, friendships, family, relationships. So this is just, it's to help you. All right. So you guys are going to know this is your read by your energy and how you feel about love. And then we're going to pull the conscious and subconscious blockages. So your current energy, we have the Knight of Coins coming through. The Knight of Coins is somebody who is already working through some less than desirable um, behaviors, maybe what you're holding on to, what you need to release, because the Knight of Coins is somebody who does operate in the manner of perfection, a steady road, and success. With the King of Wands in reverse, this could be you. It could be somebody that's on your mind. The King of Wands in reverse is it's somebody who can be quite ruthless, quite impulsive, and hold some very high expectations. All right. And that could be that you are learning to channel through that negative energy onto success. The Palace of Swords coming through. So no matter what you're no matter what, it's almost like you've found something that's been able to turn your mindset around in such a way that you find success in how your view has been changed, and that's not going to resonate with everybody, but it's almost like there's you've identified something within yourself that needs to change, or with a person that needs to change, and you're taking the steps to move towards that change to be in happiness. So let's see how it is you feel about love. And that can be, it doesn't have to be that that is love centered, you guys. That's not the idea to get the energy. There, it could come in many different areas of life, this situation. All right. And it could just be, you know, if you're somebody who tends to get angry, upset really easy, you're learning how to channel through that energy when it comes to relationships with people. How you feel about love. We have the Eight of Wands with the Two of Swords coming through and the Seven of Swords. So you've been somebody that's had your fair share of hurt and pain, and maybe even been somebody that has inflicted pain on other people. And that could be where you're having a realization that, you know, I got to change the way I'm viewing situations with people. With the Two of Swords coming through, it's almost like there's a big picture that you know is out there, but you're not quite sure what it is. It could be too that some of you don't hold on to a lot of hope when it comes to the relationship aspect. So you're focusing more on yourself. The Seven of Swords is somebody who's been hurt, lied to, mistreated in more ways than one. This is also the stolen heart card. So, you know, as soon as you let your guard down and you're vulnerable, somebody steals it and takes it away. It could be that you are a person when it comes to love that you keep matters of the heart pretty light, pretty airy, and not too deep, okay? So let's see what the conscious, this is what you're aware of. This is conscious healing, conscious fears, conscious blockages. So let's see what could be hindering the growth for you. So you guys may or may not resonate with all of this, okay? So keep that in mind. We have religious factors. So first thing coming out is you could be somebody who will not date a certain, you know, if they're not in alignment with you or your religious or your beliefs or your spiritual beliefs. You know, it could be too that you've kind of taken that energy on other people, you know. It could be that they've done that to you. It could be that people, outside influences have kind of stepped in and disassociated somebody that was close to your heart because of the differences in opinions on religion or spirituality. Religious factors coming through as a conscious blockage. It could be that you okay, so spiritual ego is coming through here for some of you guys. It could be that you might think that certain people don't deserve a place in your life because of spiritual elevation. That's not going to be for everybody. So don't be offended by that. And I'll say this, even on my own spiritual journey, I have identified myself in cases where it's spiritual ego at times. Sometimes I don't, the intent is not to come off like I know a whole bunch of shit, but sometimes I could look like that. And I've gone back and been like, oh, I kind of look like an asshole right there, you know? Maybe I need to delete that, or center how I rephrase how I said that, you know? It could be too that people have done that to you. All right. Religious factors coming through as a conscious blockage. It could be many forms. It could be something that happened. It could be too growing up in the church, and there's a huge confliction. There's a huge red flag. There's a huge misinterpretation of what that church is there for. That right there is going to be something that you guys are going to be familiar with, okay? And it's a conscious block. So we know that there's still some things that we have to get rid of. And what I want to tell you is, with these cards that pull out, you might think of one main relationship, but think to all the relationships that these could be applied to. We have retreat, okay? This right here could be ghosting. It's somebody that's ghosted you. It could be that you have ghosted people. It could be that people seem to come into your life, they light you up, and then they freaking leave. And you know, with retreat, it's almost like these situations have pulled you further and further away. Maybe you're a recluse sometimes. Maybe the situations that have happened around you have just kind of turned you into the person that you're not. You know, and that could be, again, stemming from childhood, parents, relatives. So think in all manners. And then we have wedding coming through as a conscious block. It could be that you have had your own marriage that fell through. It could be that you grew up witnessing marriages fall through. So having kind of a false sense of belief when it comes to the whole wedding, the whole commitment. It could be you're one of those people that's like, it's just a piece of paper, it don't mean anything, but has had a relationship in because of how strong your belief is in that. It could be that somebody, you wanted to marry somebody, and parents got involved and split you guys apart. So it's kind of like it's thinking back to those triggers. All right. So again, you may or may not resonate with all of that, but let's see what comes through the subconscious, and you'll know how this fits with you. Again, everything may not come through for you. Okay, so here's what I'm going to say. We got colorless angel showing up here. And colorless angel, to me, this is pretty much feeling like to me, it's in the background. It's somebody who's took something away from you. This is like somebody who's stolen your shine in many ways than just one, you know. Think about being in the background of siblings. Think about you know, just right here, it's almost, and two, I'm kind of thinking maybe some of you guys have had your fair share when it comes to drugs and being kind of on the lower end of that world. I don't know why this is the first time I've associated that dynamic with this card, but some of you guys could hold on to some of the less desirable parts of our past, you know, instead of thinking, you know, what doesn't kill us makes us stronger, and oh, that's the path that made me who I am. It could be that this is drawing embarrassment or shame, you know, with this card, just the way you kind of lived. But colorless angel too is to me, it's kind of like it's not being seen, it's not being heard, it's like in the shadows, it's in the dark, maybe feeling like you're not important, you know. And this right here could be, it could stem all the way into some deep heavy time frames in your life. Okay, we have hiding your true self. And this right here, hanging out with people, giving people a false sense of who you are, or people doing that to you, hiding your true self. This could be, it could be growing up seeing mom or dad live a certain way, and then boom, you find out a secret and you've held on to that. Think about all the ways that this card could announce itself to you. This could be friendships that went wrong, you know, in life. Hiding your true self, that could be you. It could be friendships. It could be relatives. That card has, I feel like it can hold many bearings to who that could be, but I feel like it's pretty plain. It's not being able to really release or let go of somebody. who was very, very near and dear, very important. You know, it's almost like you're finding out somebody's secret life with that card for some of you. With card 27, we have fragmentation. This right here, this is like not, it's like not being able to identify. This is like somebody who's not living to their true self. All of this is kind of tying in. It's almost like somebody here is living a life in one way, but they're not being somebody else. And it could be that there's fear. You know, this fragmentation card is, it's about shallow behavior. You know, this right here is the shallowness that we could go through. And that could be, again, people that you've dealt with. It could be your own self. You know, if I were to cut off my legs, would I still be me? If I were to carve out my heart, would I still be me? It's like to kind of questioning who you are. And it could be that you always grew up kind of feeling like somebody on the opposite end of the world of who you grew up with, siblings and parents. It could just be that you felt so out of place with where you were that you just, it's like you're a whole different type of person. All right. And okay, so what is coming to me with some of you, it could be adoption. You know, it could be half siblings. It could just be, you know, the black sheep factor. So you go on this completely different spin in life because, you know, back in the day when you were 10 or 13 or 15, if you would have felt what you see everybody else get, you know, it's almost, I don't want to say you're blaming other people for the way your life turned out, but as we grow up into kids and young adults, we tend to do that, and we tend to hold on to that energy just as well. Fragmentation, I kind of feel, is coming through as you're not feeling like a part of the friendship clan, the family clan. And I almost feel for some of you guys, it may have pulled you in a different direction, and maybe it didn't. Maybe you just grew up feeling like you didn't belong because that's how everybody around you made you feel. So it's really kind of taking a deep dive in, you guys. Again, healing, it's releasing, pen to paper. We got the full moon coming, so releasing. So let's just see what happens on this release. You got your ships coming in. You got big things happening, man. Illumination in the right direction with the ships coming in. You got some big wins coming through here. All right. It's time to make your life about you. It's time to center life around you. It's time to make things about you now. And this right here is not forgetting it. It's not pushing it down, but it's definitely the healing from maybe losing a sense of self. I feel like there's a heaviness, like some people may not know who they are. Their identity was lost, and it's time to get that back. All right, so let's see where you're sitting at in the next few months. It's like a spiritual guru coming through here. It's almost like for whoever's here, you guys are channeling through this, and then you're turning around and paying it forward, helping other people channel through that. You got enlightenment. You got the Hermit card coming through with spiritual enlightenment. Analytical. This is thoughtful. It's a deep spiritual healing journey. Again, new beginnings. It's the removal of all false beliefs and stepping into a wish fulfillment, a life kind of designed by you, what you really want to see happen now. It's time to forge a new path. All right, one that sits well with you, one where you know who you are and what you're doing here, and then gifting that towards other people. All right, Aries, I'm leaving it there. Take care.